Petr Yan, Sean O'Malley. I see you sporting the Sean O'Malley shirt.
I was gonna wear it no matter what. It's a sick shirt. Let's be real.
It's a sick shirt.
Win or lose, I was gonna wear it.
All right, going in, we'll talk about the fight, then we'll talk about the end result and what you think and all this other stuff, right? O'Malley, I think, always does a very good job finding his range as quickly as possible, right? Yeah. He's a fast starter. That's why he has so many first-round TKOs and stuff like that. But I think he does such a good job of finding his range right off the bat.
Yeah, he is very good at that.
And on the opposite end, Petr's usually a little bit of a slower starter.
Some would say the slowest in the UFC.
Yes. But that first round, I think, was up in the air for me.
So live watching it, the first round was very close for me. I kind of had Sean edging it out watching it live. First off, I want to give props to Sean because he came into this fight, nobody giving him a shot because except for HW Comer, he picked Sean. Shout out HW Comer. But Sean O'Malley comes in and he's fighting Petr Yan, who just had the belt. A lot of people think that when Aljo took the belt from him, that it wasn't like he bested him with the scoring, but a lot of people think he's not a better fighter. That's not my opinion. That's just what a lot of people think. People see Petr Yan as an absolute killer. People think Sean is fragile. So going into this is like, yeah, he's going to break Sean. This is a crazy matchup. I cannot believe they did this.
Me included.
And, yeah.
I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. And Sean, regardless if you thought he won or lost, he proved that he does deserve to be at the top of the division and that he can hang with these guys and he can pass those tests of adversity because he got cracked in this fight, worse than he's ever been cracked by a guy who knocks people out and stuck through it. And I want to give him props for that. I think he proved a lot of people's wrong. Whether you think he won or lost, he deserves to be here. Would you agree with that?
Yes. So like I was saying, I'll cover the second round real quick.
Yeah.
Second round, O'Malley catches Yan with an extending left, which I believe is that one right there. Rocks Yan a little bit. Yan's recovery is amazing too, man. Because that was a hard shot. But then
we know Sean hits hard.
He does. Yan responds with a big left that nearly drops O'Malley. You see his legs.
That was crazy.
That was nuts, man.
And the fact that Sean ate that and kept going and didn't fold.
A lesser man would have folded.
I think a previous Sean would have folded.
And then, Petr Yan working his jab, started pushing forward a lot more in the second round, like he usually does. And
no, he doesn't.
In the second round?
No, Tosi.
Oh, okay.
I was like, Sean hits hard. Tosi goes, no, he doesn't.
Now, with Petr Yan having such a height difference and reach difference, he had to use his footwork a little more, and he had to be willing to eat a couple of small shots from O'Malley every time he was coming in.
Yeah,
and O'Malley does a very good job of being active and just peppering them with like small shots, which
straight shots.
In the judge's eyes, he's like, wow. This guy's super active. He's landing a lot of shots. Yeah. But how many of those shots are really damaging Yan?
Well, yeah. And then the third, he comes in and lands that knee, man, because Petr kept doing the mummy guard and then the whatever, can't think of it, but the high guard, right? And Sean steps in, pulls him down, knees him in the head, splits his eyebrow open, has him hurt there for a sec, and is teeing off on him kind of. Petr does a good job of shelling, right? But he is teeing off on him, regardless of if they're getting through or not. He is teeing off on him, and I don't know. So
look at that knee.
Picture. What a great picture, God! It was a beautiful knee. So going into the decision, I was like, all right, well, the second round was clearly Petr, right? Sean hurt him in the second round, but he hurt him back immediately, worse than he was hurt, and kind of dominated the rest of that round, I thought. But the third round, I thought Sean took that one because, he clearly did more damage in that one. Busted him open with a big knee, was picking him apart kind of for a while. The first round is what it comes down to. I was kind of surprised by the massive backlash of this decision. I'll be honest.
I had to go back and watch this fight again.
I watched it right before we went live. Sean won. Petr Yan cannot take those first rounds off, especially in a 3-round fight. It's the same thing that just lost him the belt in the Aljamain fight.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody watching it was like, "Oh, Petr Yan won that fight," and you look at the first round, and he gives it up, and it looks, while you're watching it live, it looks like he's like dominating because he's walking you down. He's shot high guarding. You're hitting him with shots, and he's blocking them, and then he throws something, and then he's walking down the whole time. But walking you down and throwing a couple leg kicks does not outweigh the straight punches that Sean was landing the full round. I mean, he outstruck him. Yeah, he was on the back foot, but he hit him way cleaner than Petr hit him. He hit him more than Petr hit him. Yes, Petr got the takedown, but with 30 seconds of top control, he landed 2 punches that were not heavy, and then Sean got right back up. I thought his takedown defense was actually pretty damn good. Sean took that round.
I thought the second round was clearly Jan's.
Clearly,
in my eyes.
Yeah.
The third round, and let me say, I have so much respect for the fighters where they go into the third round and the corner says, "Hey, this is a close fight and you have to come out guns a-blazing." And when the fighter does that, it's like, man, this fighter has some freaking balls to go in there and just lay it out all on the line. Because Sean O'Malley came out like an animal that third round.
Yeah.
Because they said it could very well go either way.
Mm-hmm.
And so then for me, like I said, it comes down to that first round.
Yeah.
O'Malley landed some solid shots. Petr had the takedown, but then I asked myself, what did he do with that takedown? O'Malley ended up getting back up. So he had top control, and how much damage did he really inflict during that top control? And it wasn't very much. So after I rewatched this the second time, I thought to myself, this isn't that bad of a decision. I still think it could have gone either way.
It could have gone either way. Me personally,
so a couple things.
Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead.
Me personally, I had Sean taking rounds 1 and 3, but it could have gone either way.
So for me, O'Malley proved that he belongs here.
100%.
Petr Yan is an absolute killer. He belongs at the top of the division, and he's probably going to get a title shot next.
Yeah.
Right. Next, O'Malley wants some respect from me. And I'm sure that now O'Malley will be able to sleep at night now that he knows that he won my respect.
Yeah.
But the things that he said during his interview that I absolutely loved, when they asked him, did you think that you did enough to win the fight? He said, honestly, I wasn't sure if I did enough.
Yeah.
That was awesome. 2, thought it could have gone either way. 3, said he hurt me more than I have ever been in a fight. He said, I was rocked.
Yeah.
Right? And then when they asked him, what's next for you? Instead of saying, I should fight next for the title, I'm next in line, he said, he didn't demand a fight. He said, I need to go back, rewatch the fight, and decide after that. For me, the humility that he showed at the end of that fight was fantastic. He's been pushed harder than he had ever been pushed before. This is his first time not fighting a huge can, right? And he proved himself. And that didn't go very well.
It did not go very well.
You're absolutely well. You're absolutely right. That didn't go very well. But
no, yeah, he gained some respect. I think from a lot of people.
He gained some respect.
Here's what
Reject says, you guys are swaying me. I am pretty biased towards Petr. Dude, trust me, I was biased towards Petr too. I watched the fight. By the way, I'm at my son's baseball game. I'm watching O'Malley versus Petr Yan. This is a true story. And my wife asked me, she's like, are you watching the fights right now? And I said, yeah, it's Sean O'Malley versus Petr Yan. She's like, put your phone away. And I said, oh, damn, okay. So I'm like a kid. I'm sitting there all sad.
This is going to be fight of the night.
Yeah. So when I had watched, I was like, oh, Petr has this in the bag, right?
Yeah.
And so I had to go back and rewatch it. And that's when I was like, you know what? I think this was a good decision.
Yeah. And HLB Comer said when he tried to trip Yan, props for the balls for him to go for it. Because Petr hit that sweep, right, where he steps across the outside trip and pushes you over it. And Sean popped right back up. And then he tried to hit Yan with it. He said that he trained that in a training camp a bunch of times, but Jan's too short for it to work against him.
Elijah Grant says, that was the worst decision I have ever seen. Elijah, thanks for joining us on the podcast, man. Appreciate it. Make sure you like, subscribe if you haven't already. But Elijah, I challenge you, man. Find a link out there. Unless you purchase pay-per-view, go back and rewatch it. But rewatch it. Take the sound out of it. Take the sound out. No announcers, no nothing, and just watch damage inflicted first round. Really,
all that matters is the first round. All that
All that
matters is
matters
the first round.
Second round,
Second
clearly
was-
Jan. Third round, clearly O'Malley. Just watch that first round, unbiased, and see how it goes.
Don't just look at who's walking forward, because that's what Petr does. He walks you down in the first round. He shells up. He makes these reads, and it looks like he's doing things, that he's the aggressor and all this stuff, but
Coleslaw
he's also getting
through.
picked apart. Shout out Coleslaw out there catching tuna fish in the Monterey Bay. Big ass tunas. It's crazy. They're bigger than him.
That's awesome. Shout out Coleslaw though. Good dude, man. Good dude.
But and HLB Comer's right. Don't let the colors fool you. O'Malley's a very smart guy, humble and very cerebral. It's true, man. He puts on this persona, right, and it gets him fights like this. It gets him to skip from 12-1. But the reality is, the guy knows the game, and everyone's like, he only fights cans. He only fights cans. And he's like, yeah, I'm only making $20,000 a fight. I'm not gonna fight Petr Yan for $20,000. Fuck that. I'll start taking harder fights when they start paying me more. And then they're like, they renegotiated their contract. He starts getting paid more, and all of a sudden he's fighting Petr Yan. This is what happens.
I used to like him up until like the whole Cheeto Vera thing. He's like, I'm still undefeated, and I'm like, okay, bro.
But why did he say? What you think he realized? You think he actually thinks he didn't lose that fight? He's doing that to get that reaction
all the time. He's high as balls all the time. He might have.
HLB Comer's right. He is very cerebral. He knows what he's doing.
No, but I think for me too is like he has this little shtick going on, and the one like true matchup he had, he lost, and it's like, okay, well then the shtick's not that funny, you know. But I think now, taking out Petr Yan, maybe a Cheeto Vera rematch. We'll see what happens. But maybe now I'll like the shtick. I don't know.
If I'm Sean, I'm probably trying to get a Cheeto Vera fight for a Toasty. I'm high as balls all the time too. If I'm O'Malley, I don't know if I really want to take the Aljo fight. I think I'd probably want to do the rematch with Cheeto, but it's like, how do you say no to the title shot? It's so difficult. But stylistically, it's a really bad matchup for him. Aljo's wrestling is so goddamn good. But so is Petr Yan's. And Sean O'Malley did a very good. You see him roll for that omoplata to get the sweep and then get back up.
Oh, that was so sick.
Dude, he looked very good on the ground.
That was so sick.
Takedown defense wasn't quite there, but man, he was very good off his back. HLB Comer says, even the way he reacted to Yan calling him a hooker on the side of the road, asked for a response. He just acknowledged that it was a good joke. Shows he has no ego, which is super important. He gets it.
Yeah, that was pretty good. When they look back, they're like, do you have any response? And he goes, nah, that was good.
Yeah.
that was really good. Great call. Hey everybody, Romero and Will here. Thank you so much for watching that short clip. It's just a small clip of what we covered this last Sunday.
Yeah, if you want to check out the full fight card recap, the link is in the description, and it's going to be on screen at the end here. Don't forget to go back and watch our fighter interviews that we have. And don't forget to tune in live every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and you can join in on the fun.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It goes a long way. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching that short clip from Story of the Fight.